On today's vlog, we're going to explore the piers of San Francisco's Fisherman's Wharf. We're going to have some of their famous clam chowder in a bread bowl. We're going to explore Ghirardelli Square and have some chocolate. I'm going to show you how I got there from my hotel, how I rode the BART. I'll give you some tips along the way, but first, I have to go to work. So we're headed to the airport today. We're gonna have a good time in San Francisco. I'm in the employee parking lot and I almost burst into tears last week when I came out here. Denver International Airport took the old Mount Albert parking lot and has now converted it into the employee lot, but they removed the signage and I hadn't worked, and so I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it on Google Maps. I was just losing my mind trying to find the parking lot last week, but I'm here, I'm parked, so yay, new parking lot. It's not the greatest, but it's a solution to having to go around and around and around and around in circles looking for a parking spot. We're gonna have a good 3-day. I am right now working 3 legs to San Francisco. We go from Denver to Houston, Bush, back to Denver, and then we change planes and go to San Francisco. I could have gotten rid of that Houston part of my trip. So at my airline, if any part of your trip goes through your original base, you can sip or rip that trip up, and I could have taken the first 2 legs of my day and given them away to another flight attendant, and then I could have just come in for the Denver to San Francisco flight. I'm on my second plane, new crew, and it is cold. This plane had been sitting out on the tarmac for several hours. They just pulled it over, and it's like 31 degrees right now in Denver. I could smell the heat. So our pilots finally got here and turned the plane on, but I am going to make a warming, I don't even know what to call it. So the wet paper towels are in there, and then I just twist them up in this bag and hold on to it. Made it to the hotel. I'm in the bathroom. It has the best lighting. So long day. It is 1:30 California time, so 2:30 Denver time. I got up with the kids 6:45, and an 11-hour duty day for me. I'll have to look it up. And I'm gonna shower the airplane off, give you a room tour, going to bed, and then we're gonna go exploring tomorrow. So bathroom, standing in the entry, closet. Already made sure there was no murderers. And 2 doubles. We eat on that one. We sleep on that one. I don't have any recollection of this hotel. Maybe I faced another direction. I don't know. I haven't overnighted in San Francisco. I had 1 overnight since COVID, and it wasn't at this hotel, so it's been a long time. All right, time to go to bed. Good morning. So here we are in really sunny, pretty San Francisco. Whew, rough. I am tired. I had my alarm set for 10 a.m. Housekeeping knocked on the door at 9:45 and woke me up, opened the door. I have mad respect for housekeepers. I don't know if she just didn't get a list of when we were leaving because we write all that down, but oh, that was abrupt. I went to make myself coffee because if you don't know me, my name's Elizabeth. I love coffee. And the coffee pod was broken and all the coffee was like inside. And so there was only 1 regular, 1 decaf, and I went out in the hall, looked for housekeeping. There wasn't anyone out there, so I went down to the crew lounge. They have a crew lounge. Got myself a cup of coffee, got myself a muffin. Cute little crew lounge. It basically is set up for like the old school days when we had to look on a computer for our schedule, and now, you know, everyone does their phone or has a phone from their company or an iPad from their company. But I appreciate a crew room with coffee and pastries. So we did that, came up, got my makeup on. I'm ready to go, like leave San Francisco. We're gonna go out and have some fun. I'm gonna ride the airport shuttle back to SFO and then take the BART into San Francisco. San Francisco has a great public transit system called the BART. Now, it isn't necessarily super cheap. It cost me $10 from the airport to Embarcadero, but it is a lot faster than an Uber, and an Uber is about 2 to 3 times more expensive. Now, if you're going with your whole family, you might want to do the math on that and see if an Uber is better, or see if renting a car is better. But for me, the solo traveler, jumping on the BART was phenomenal. Now, I bought a ticket there for the one-way journey down here. It's $10.50, and I downloaded an app called Clipper, so that's what I'm going to use to get back to the airport later and also tomorrow. So let's go look around. I had never been to the ferry building. I was excited to go inside and explore, and it has a really rich history. It was opened in 1898, and it was a ferry boat stop. It became obsolete in the 50s, and then they revived it in 2003. And currently, as you can see, it's filled with lots of unique restaurants and shops, and it's a great spot for tourists to go and get something to eat, as well as locals. It is an actual working ferry terminal currently, and this is where you can get on the San Francisco Bay Ferry to ride to Oakland and to several other stops. If you've never been to San Francisco, you need to go to Fisherman's Wharf. There's a lot of things to do there. There's tons of food, there are tons of shops. At Pier 39, that's where the aquarium is located. You can also rent bikes. That's where I signed up to go on my Golden Gate Bridge tour. It's just a must-see for your first time in San Francisco. Just inland from Fisherman's Wharf is Ghirardelli Square. I have the hardest time saying that, so don't make fun of me. In 1895, it was a chocolate factory, but they moved, and in the 1960s, they turned it into this complex with retail. It also has condos. They sell all varieties of their chocolate squares, and you can even ask for a free sample. We've done a lot today, and I thought it'd end with some ice cream, Ghirardelli Square, and let me just tell you, be prepared. San Francisco is really pricey. So I just got one scoop of mint ice cream with fudge, and it was $9.75. I don't know, I'll put on here how much it is. But I mean, I love San Francisco. I can't wait to bring the kids here. But great way to end the day. Back at the hotel, I am good. I'm tired. I walked about 5 miles, left the hotel about 11:30, and it takes about 30 minutes on the BART to get down to the ferry terminal. It was so fun seeing Alcatraz off in the distance, the Golden Gate Bridge, and stay tuned, we're going to Oakland tomorrow. If you're going on a business trip to a city, take an extra day, check it out. You can totally do so much in an afternoon and check out a city, see if you want to come back. But we're going to work 2 flights today, pretty much ready to go, just 2 flights. We're headed to San Diego, and then we come back to Oakland. Short day. And if you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, please do that. I am so excited to have so many new subscribers, and I cannot believe we hit that 1,000 subscriber count and went on above it. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Hit like, hit subscribe, and let's keep this adventure rolling. Okay, so big update. One of my flights canceled. So now we don't leave until 9 p.m. So what am I doing? I'm gonna go catch the 1 o'clock shuttle. I'm gonna take the BART over to San Francisco, and I'm gonna get on the 2:20 boat ride underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. Come on, let's go. Okay, so I'm back at the Oakland airport, and I am going to figure out the BART. I'm not sure if it's like a shuttle to the BART or if the BART actually comes here. We're gonna see, and then we're gonna go back over to San Francisco. And my goal is to do this boat ride that goes under the Golden Gate Bridge. So also I had to call scheduling and make sure I had a new report time put on my board, even though it said that my flight was canceled, and we had this technicality that was put on our board. It's called a limo. But I didn't know, even at 9 years, we have an option on our phone app to just acknowledge a schedule change, but I had to physically call them and ask for a revision to my report time. Like if they had a last minute cancellation and they didn't have anyone at the airport to cover it, they could have had me cover it, and if I wasn't there, I could have gotten a no-show. So, learned something new. Okay, so I had some clown chowder in a sourdough bread bowl. It was really good. Can't see my eyes, but I'm about to get on one of these boats to do the harbor tour. we're gonna go under both bridges. So the Golden Gate, and I think the other one's the Oakland Bay Bridge. But if you guys have ever seen Ant-Man, this is the area where he is really large and he's in the water. I'm pretty sure this sign is in that movie. So let's go get on a boat. Super windy. There it is. Super windy. So fun. My bucket list item went to do a cruise ship under the bridge. There's nothing more iconic than the Golden Gate Bridge. And when people around the world see the Golden Gate Bridge, they think San Francisco. And I have to agree, it is amazing. Being able to take that boat tour to go under the Golden Gate Bridge was truly a bucket item. What's interesting is the Golden Gate Bridge is actually the second bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge opened in 1937, but the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge opened in 1933. Being able to go underneath both bridges and take a tour of the bay was amazing, and I definitely suggest it if you're headed to San Francisco. Alcatraz is behind us. So much fun. If you ever come to San Francisco, that is totally worth doing. You do need to book it ahead of time, but it's definitely a good tour. Bring walking shoes, it's a lot of walking, but it's so neat. Alcatraz is another iconic landmark in San Francisco, and I highly suggest taking the Alcatraz tour if you have the time and the money. It's kind of expensive. It's $35 for kids and about $54 for adults. I have done it in the past, and it's super interesting seeing the prison. It's kind of creepy, but it's very educational. It started out as a military post between 1850 and 1933. Then it became Alcatraz as we know it, the prison. In 1973, it became a public landmark and was open to tourists. It is really an interesting and fun place to tour. If you have the time, bring your good walking shoes and a bottle of water and enjoy. So we're leaving Alcatraz right there. If you ever come to San Francisco, it's totally worth it. The tour is phenomenal. You do have to book it online ahead of time. But if you're just one person, you can actually walk up and just see if they have availability. We're going to go under, I think, the Oakland Bay Bridge next. So, good day. So my tips for traveling in San Francisco is definitely take advantage of public transportation. The BART is such an easy system to navigate. They're underground, whatever you want to call it, and it can get you to the most places. It would be great if you were staying in a hotel that had an airport shuttle. Then you could have a free ride from your hotel to the airport, jump on the BART either from Oakland or San Francisco, and then you get off on the Embarcadero stop. Tip number one for San Francisco is use the BART, and then also on the back of that, tip number two is use the trolleys that go up and down Embarcadero, Market. You can jump on and off those and it saves you. So if you take the BART and you get off on the Embarcadero stop, to walk down to Fisherman's Wharf is about a 30 or 40 minute walk because it's pretty far. Now there's lots to look at on the way, don't get me wrong, but if you need to save your legs, the trolley is the way to go. Again, the best way to do that was the Clipper app. I downloaded that on my phone. You can load money straight onto that app and you can use that to pay for the large trolleys that go, like I said, along Market Street. You can use the Clipper app for BART and you can reload it right on your phone. So you don't have to worry about it getting a ticket. You can also use it on the ferries. If you use any of the ferries that cross the bay, you can use the Clipper app there. So it's just a great one-stop shop for public transportation. Now, I don't think it works on the super small, cute, iconic trolleys that go up the hills. If you're traveling to San Francisco, another tip is to make sure you have really good walking shoes. You're going to be walking a lot. Maybe a small thing of hand sanitizer. Finding good public bathrooms is kind of a challenge. If you eat a meal out, use the restroom before you leave. But Bring good walking shoes. If you're gonna do anything down by the wharf, if you're gonna go out on any kind of ferry, kind of tour on the water, or if you're gonna go to Alcatraz, make sure you bring a windbreaker because it can be really, really chilly on the water. So San Francisco is a great place to come. It's a great place to visit. I felt super safe. So I would highly, highly recommend San Francisco for a trip. I've been here probably half a dozen times. We'll have to come back. We'll have to do Chinatown. It is so cool. There's a lot more to see in San Francisco. So thank you so much for joining me on this crazy 3-day that I'm gonna need like 3 days to recover from the amount of walking I did. And I will see you guys next time in the sky.